Hi, good evening, dear friends. It's Efrat from Jerusalem. Good to have you all here again, week after week. Tonight, this evening, I would like to take our attention into the West Bank, where the situation is kind of ceasefire in the north and in the south. It's not exactly ceasefire, but kind of. The West Bank area is getting more and more tense and violent, and few very dramatic events happen there. The first one is the involvement of the Israeli army fighting Hamas forces within Jenin and other cities in the West Bank very seriously and with a lot of fire that didn't happen there before. Side of this is really brutal and crucial behavior of some settler against innocent Palestinians in their village when gang of settlers came into these places and set fire at cars and shops, and people are get injured there. And aside of this, a big or getting bigger involvement and action of few organizations who are helping the Palestinians, among them Rabbis for Judge, the organization of looking to the occupation in the eyes, very beautiful organization called Tag Meir, who everywhere that the Palestinians get hurt by settler, they go there with peace talking and trying to help. So to holding these seeds of hope within this violent environment. Thank you.
Hello, friends. Thank you, Efrat, for bringing this actual picture, controversial, both difficult and also heart-opening from the people who do assist and help Palestinians that are attacked. I try to make sense, what is happening around the conflict here in Israel, Palestine. Since January 20th, the energy of the new president of the United States is kind of sucking attention to such an extent that I get a sense that the developments in the Middle East are deviated from a trajectory that maybe might have begun towards generating some kind of new regional coherence. So I really don't know what is happening, but a lot of attention around what Donald Trump is doing and saying in the area. For instance, the United States president asks Jordan and Egypt and other Arab countries to receive Palestinian refugees from Gaza. Like he says, the Gaza Strip is a real mess. We just have to clean out the whole thing. I'd rather work with Arab nations to build housing elsewhere so the Gazans, the people from Gaza, may live in peace. So he says, as a temporary or permanent solution. Yeah, so just receive them. Yeah, take them into your country, and let's clean up Gaza. Already today, Egypt rejects any transfer of Palestinians to its country. So this is one example of his great influence here. And he suspends also foreign aid to all countries except for Israel and Egypt, sending bombs to Israel. And what is happening in Syria is probably an ongoing reconfiguration of forces under tremendous pressure. For instance, the pressure of the European Union that asks Damascus to get rid of Russian military bases in the country so they can remove sanctions. So you can feel very strongly this influence that is blown up, blown with Donald Trump's declarations, this Western influence and this deal making in the Middle East. So I'm really trying to share tits and bits that are small parts of the biggest scheme. But what I want to share, that I just saw a very fantastic picture of a million, I think a million people from Gaza going back to their homes. It's the picture is like is like those pictures that you show when Moses took out his people out of Egypt, those millions of people walking back to their the place where they lived. It's really very, very impressive. Yeah, so thank you. This is what I can share today. It's not so very coherent, but I really don't understand so much this incoherent situation in the area. Thank you. Over to you, Uta.
Yeah, thank you to the two of you for this window into the Middle East. And no doubt Donald Trump is shaking and moving things. And let's hope that the locals will rise to the occasion and exert their power, their creativity, take things in hand and not leave it to the big global players, and let us do our part to strengthen this area. So let's just take a deep breath. Settle into our body. touching base with our inner silence. Feel our heart pulse. And bringing our awareness into the center of the head. And being aware of ourselves as the conscious soul in incarnation. Let us now come together in the group heart. The group heart that we are for many months now building and nurturing. Feel it pulsing with the will to love. And now let us weave our thoughts, our minds into a unified field. Magnetic field. Like a circle of wise elders, let us stand together as souls in the will to peace. And we know ourselves in communion with all the other many soul-guided servers around the planet. We are a planetary force. And we are coming now into vibratory alignment with the higher co-workers on the subtle planes who are working with us, who guide this work. And our group heart tunes to their vibration of all-inclusive love. The energy of grace. And our group mind tunes to their clear, discerning light. And in this clear, discerning light, we take our stand now at the midway point between the higher forces and the Middle East below. Taking a look, getting a wide overview of the psychic field of the Middle East. These powerful local, regional, and global forces pushing against each other. To see it in a global context. See the Middle East as a planetary focal point of great intensity. focusing in now on the mental aspect of it. Perceiving the many different agendas vying for influence. Global, regional, local. Collective thought forms, powerful interests. And let us recognize how the mental turbulence steers the emotional forces into intense activity. And wherever this cannot be held, how they erupt into physical violence. Let us link for a moment with the population in Syria, which struggles to live their lives within this dangerous vortex. And the people of Gaza returning to their destroyed homes, not knowing what their fate will be. And the violence and danger in the West Bank. And also the many Israelis who still don't return to their homes in the north. And as we observe, let us release all judging, all thoughts of right and wrong. And like a circle of wise elders, just holding this, containing this volatile situation with both discernment, truthfulness, and wise love. And now, from our midway point, let us turn our eyes upwards towards the divine plan, that part of the divine plan that pertains to the Middle East. And perhaps we cannot yet mentally grasp it, but we perhaps can feel it, sense it. The divine plan constitutes a reservoir of energized substance. And we open ourselves to sense it, to become sensitive to it. And holding the vibration of this intended design in our group awareness. Just holding it. The intended design, the potential. And bring this now into relation with the condition on the ground. Bring these two energies, vibrations into relation, the intended design and the outer condition. And sense a magnetic relationship being set up between them. See energies flowing between them. As above, so below. Holding this continuity in the will to peace. See and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, flood West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all planes. Holding this column steady and seeing soul light flooding the mental sphere. Envision the mental forces in the area aligning to an inclusive soul vision. Every human life is sacred. Every human life plays an important part in the overall plan. Only together we become whole. And see the soul light pouring through into the astral plane of the Middle East, touching hearts with grace, with gentleness, soothing, softening, opening to trust again in basic human goodness. And seeing the light now pouring through into the etheric physical plane of the Middle East, penetrating into the earth, working its way into these old separative patterns, continuing to disintegrate, dissolve them. And we call on the higher forces to help with this transmuting process. And as it happens, we stand witness to the necessary destruction and suffering. And we know and affirm that these solar plexus destructive fires will eventually transmute and rise to become fires of love in the heart of humanity. Streaming this force now through the sound of the great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, זרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותם מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. מהמרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, תוגשם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור אהבה ועוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب في قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية والتي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي ندون بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة، التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.